Hello, hello. CB here with the demo dive. We're back on stream, hopefully. At this point, mostly for a test run, since my internet is now ostensibly fixed, thanks to an engineer turning up unannounced at what was, at least for me, a god's awful time of morning. Nothing like greeting an engineer in Gilmore's glorious bathrobe over owl jammies, let me tell you. I mean, the first engineer was by appointment, but that was yesterday, and he couldn't fix it without access to a distribution point in the building, and it was a whole saga, but that isn't what you're here for. You're here to watch me stream games, and I'm here to see if I can. I'm well behind my quota thanks to everything that's been going on, as well as not being able to stream. It drained me of all my spoons. This whole mess. I did actually play some demos, and the recordings for that are on my YouTube, but I'll talk about that later. It also freed me from my carefully curated schedule, which has its ups and downs. I'm going to pick up the demo for The Killing Stone, a strategic card battler by Question. I learned about this one because Liam O'Brien mentioned it on his Blue Sky. I think because he voice acted in it, but I'm not entirely sure. I guess the best way to find out is to poke the demo. So, here we go. Slightly early, but I don't think that's too much of a problem. Are you sitting comfortably? Good. Then we'll begin. Click to continue. Welcome to The Killing Stone. This game is still in active development and very much under construction. We would love your feedback to help us make The Killing Stone the best possible game. Please join our Discord from the main menu and let us know what you think. Thank you for playing. I know I'm an old, but I miss forums. I miss being able to, look back on things easily and just have proper posts instead of... I don't see why everything has to be a Discord. It's harder to do research on a Discord. Hell, have a subreddit if you have to. It's better than a Discord. But that's just me. Some people might actually like asking what might be the same question 8 or 10 times, and forcing the mods to deal with that particular thing. But I guess that happens on Reddit too, so I don't suppose it matters. Anyway, game. This game is written in 2 styles, Modern English and Period English. Select which one you'd like to experience. You can change this anytime in the options menu. Fuck it, I'm going with period. That just sounds hilarious. New run. Hello, Raven with glowing red eyes. That gives us a sense of what this game's mood is. The vibe, if you like. Hello. Okay, that's just... yeah. That's an image. Okay.
If thy tongue wants use...
Hi, Liam!
I am unto thy whim a bondsman. But as wise men will one day say, in the beginning was the act. If it is action thou cravest, then to the ritual, and amen.
Let's start with the talk. You approach the figure uncertainly, trying in vain to orient yourself in this uncompassed dark. Wittenberg College. Your office, was it not? A mysterious parcel left on your desk. Within, a box, strangely familiar. Numbly, you had skimmed the receipt, retaining nothing beyond estate of Marikan Svangard, herein as the deceased, your ancient mentor, dead? In her shadow, false and true seem weightless equivocations. She left this box to you? On instinct, you reached for the clasp, then an uncanny light, which seemed somehow to notice you.
From an jailed time thou art sudden scaped. All hail and welcome.
He must have had a fucking blast with this, man.
Hast thou a soul? already twixt she and thee. Thou art the fun one.
You sense this creature is strangely grateful for your trust. Okay, I'm not sure if that's good or bad. This has period piece bad summer vibes now.
Now, in all thy mortal world, there is but one game worth the candle. If thou wouldst play, ask thyself but this. Hast thou the art? Hast thou the will to beat the devil?
Knowing my luck, probably not, but fuck it.
If thou couldst know how oft I have been answered yes, thou wouldst stand amazed.
Okay, here we go.
Dost see? Here is the table, and here the game. In this place, we play for souls. Here is my wager. The soul of Marikin. Thou dost hereby swear to act as final executor of thy late mentor's pact. In all trials or contests unresolved, wilt thou play on her behalf? Thou hast mine eye, by thy dead witch bequeathed. 'Twill serve for thy stake in this test of bona fides, and keep the both of us honest. Now, prove thou art no impostor. Face Valravin, first familiar to learned Marikin, and confirm thyself her pupil.
The figure indicates a signature line on this ritual document. The package from Marikin contained a strangely vicious-looking ring with a nib at its tip. The purpose is obvious. Okay.
And now, by all the eyes of hell and heaven, are we to each unto the other bound, until the trial's done, and game be won. Let no mortal soul from this table rise.
Excuse me. Point of order. You're not a mortal soul as far as I'm aware, so where does that leave you? I may play, like, Archfey, Devils, that kind of thing a little often, and it kind of drives my players batshit, in the good way, sometimes. So, yeah, I have, put it to you this way, my mother, before she retired, sold professional liability insurance to lawyers. There's a certain vibe there. Anyway. A great pale bird hops forward. An albino corvid? Quite rare. It trills strangely and seems to speak, not in words, yet you intuit the meaning. Wherefore a mock trial? 'Tis plainly the one forenamed. Yet if I must perforce, I'll fledge the witch. Lo, stranger, scrute the case in brief, and make thine argument. The ritual binds you and the demon together in contest by contract. Click on the battle above your loop to begin. Combat minion. Okay. Gotcha. Trivial battle. Let's hope. I have no idea what I'm doing. I've never played a game like this before. We shall see how well I can follow directions. And I'm quite pleased with how the stream is coming out, so I think the testing is successful. Anyway, to win this contractual battle, you must reduce the health of your opponent's eye to 0. If you reach 0, you lose. When your turn starts, you draw up to 5 cards, which you then place on the battle line. Select a card with... These cards are all creatures which get placed on the battle line and fight when your turn ends. Place one now in the available spot with... Cards cost action points to play, and action points refill on your next turn. Play thralls until you run out of action points. When you run out of action points, you can end your turn with spacebar to enter the resolve phase and let your creatures attack. During resolve, creatures attack and deal wounds equivalent to their strength to the first non-ally they face. Enemy gather. The Fangella divides the board. You can only place creatures on your side and vice versa. All creatures have hit points and will die if theirs are reduced to 0. Okay. Keep playing throws until you run out of room. Oh no, I'm out of room. Your battle line is full. If you end your turn with unspent action points, one will roll over to your next turn. Shouldn't need it, but you win. Okay, I get it. You've defeated your opponent, but such minions are only an aspect of the greater advocate. Proceed to the next battle. Beneath each eye is a wounds preview. Place a creature on the battle line to see the preview change. The damage you see here will happen during the resolve phase. End your turn to see it happen. The demon played a new kind of creature. Focus on it with your mouse to see details. Overreach has a special keyword, tunnel. Creatures with one tunnel skip the first valid target when attacking. Attacks hit the eye directly if there's nothing to skip. Okay. The slash preview means this creature will die at the end of the turn. Okay. Off I go. Card Spark is an invocation, a spell that affects the board but isn't placed on it. Select Spark now, use Spark on eye now. Ooh. The rest of your hand is all thralls, which seems unlucky. Select the draw pile to see if you've got anything better waiting. This shows your remaining deck in random order. When this is empty, the graveyard reshuffles into it. Use the back button to leave. You draw up to 5 cards every turn. You can then hover and use right mouse to discard one. Hopefully continue to your turn and press enter button to receive. If you regret a move, you can undo it. You can undo any move until you end your turn. Okay. This isn't so bad. A little different than I was expecting. But, to be fair, I'm not really sure what I was expecting. The bird interrupts to address your devilish foe. Zoons, must needs we all this pomp and puffery? Then, somewhat sing-song, doth thine one good eye not suffice to see? Here's the foretold maven, else I'm not me.
Winged knave of no colour plumed, go to. This exam is by hest of thy mysteries, whose likeness thou seemst to voice, yet roundly failed to list. And rhyme not thus, Squab, save by the homophony of silence. Else will I see my cap new feathered.
Liam must have had such a good time with this. This is ridiculous. This is like if Vax went uber goth. The bird stiffens. Whatever the masked adversary may truly be behind this shape, Valravn seems far warier of it than his words suggest. Wilt thou converse with our guests in new civility or candor? Hast thou not a reputation for't?
Content. We may commune in comfort now, if thou wilt. To me thou art the shape of joy infleshed. Oh, to match at last, sweet sinner to the sin. The late Marican named thee her pupil. Shouldst thou by ritual trial prove thou art the one chosen by the witch, then like that box presently will I, and all the world, to thee ope. The second ritual test awaits, unless thou hast questions.
So is it true? Marican is dead. She has willed me her arcane secrets, but are you the catch?
Oh, Maven, we are all of us ensnared. Should Marican's debts unto the house be settled in full, and thereafter sums residual stand ope to claimants, thou art thereby to all scholarly holdings entitled, tomes, servants, artifacts, et al.
Servants? Are you such a one, much is rumored?
Eager art thou, if a shade green. Patience. E'en as I now thee behold, thou seemst to ripen. Pass the test, and thou wilt know me in the round. Still, what be the harm in a little taste? Shouldst thou by Funghella trial best Valravin, first familiar to Marican, thou wilt be proffered his services as an advanced retainer fee to ensure thine arrival to the site of her death. More than this much, I cannot yet say. Now, shouldst thou die before thy tasks complete, thine own soul wilt to forfeit fall, unless some undisclosed advocate steps forth on thy behalf.
Uh-huh.
The second ritual test awaits, unless thou hast questions. Oh, some of us hath seen too much. Not my first face this, nor among my faces first. 'Tis not e'en the first by thine own Marican gifted me. Alas, it doth seem now the last. Thou hast damnable cheek. I do look forward to rudding 'em for thee. But peace, the test cometh first. For now, let us say simply, that is the reason I stand before thee. The second ritual test awaits, unless thou hast questions. Ere her death in exile, a maven of all 7 liberal arts was Marican so named. Witches alleged would she oft defend, and in final irony did one herself become. Surely thou didst suspect, to reprise. Marican's will did testify unto a famulus, or star pupil, thee. As by the scant few tests remaining thou must prove. 'Tis she who by milk of mind hath mothered thee, yea, made thee heir to all her secret arts. Yet, to claim it all...
This is Dr. Faustus the video game.
From hell itself must thou winst back her soul. The second ritual test awaits, unless thou hast questions.
Let us resume the ritual contest. Its mysteries begin to reveal themselves to me. Okay. Ooh. Here you can choose a boon, a special effect that will help you until the ritual ends. Boons stack with each other, so it's always better to take one if offered. We'll go with revitalizing salt. HOT is always my jam. For those unaware, that's heal over time. You can place any creature in reserve above another creature ready to join the battle when the first one falls. Play a celestial projection now on the battle line. The placement slot above our celestial projection represents a spot for a reserve. Place Comet Archer there. Unlike the creatures on the battle line that host them, reserved creatures don't normally attack or get hit in contact. End your turn, combat rather, end your turn to see your attack. Ooh. Some creatures have special abilities when they deploy from reserve, like Anchor of Faith. Play it in the Comet Archer's reserve now. The opponent symbol means this effect applies to the enemy eye. So in this case, thorns will strike your creature and your Maven eye. Crap. Hopefully that'll do. There we go. Boss. Oh boy. Aggression is a chant. Chant must be played in reserve or discarded when they hit the battle line. Okay, so... Okay. And turn. Ooh, that's not good. Your celestial projection is damage you can replace by selecting a card, selecting a figure on the board. There's no assets in reserve. Okay, let's go. What in the hell is this? Okay. not doing so good here. Don't have enough AP for this. I am going to lose this so badly. I can't seem to get through. Shit. I knew thou wert no charlatan. 'Tis mine honor to serve thee, Maven, and to fly his company of faith.
No counterfeit art thou, a maven true, and pupil to infamed Marikin. For in each hand thou placed, I see hers. Now ends the sportive joust, and begins the earnest duel. Thy witch believed thou couldst outgamble me, as upon a stone in earth redoubted, break my back upon thy will. I, in whose blood the first air pact was penned, who for thy game of souls carved chessmen from the teeth of time. At thy journey's end, seek me out, and we shall see.
North be thy fateful voyage, lo, twixt that puissant eye and I, thence shall thy way be loomed. In coldness shalt thou meet him next, and as true adversaries, alas, expect thee no quarter. Soon wilt thou miss the warmth of this first fond embrace. Follow me.
To mine apprentice, my sin eater, and final friend. In death, I beg of thee, one last favor. That most fateful game I once taught thee is not yet won. All did I wager, and lost more still. Now I fear thine art must exceed mine own. The Svangard family stands at hazard now, and the house doth intend to collect. Prithee, visit my kinsmen in their exile, and shield them from my wretched curse. Thou needst not love them, but e'en the worst of us deserveth a happier fate than this. And, oh Maven, to speak me plain, 'tis thou alone whom I entrust to beat the devil. Mariken Svanga.
Okay, now where do I go? Or did I get turned around? Alright, where am I going? Hello? Yeah, I got significantly turned around somehow. The last thing I wanted was first person in the middle of all this. Don't tend to expect most of this from a card battler, but this is not a card battler as I know it. Oh. Puppy! Excitable puppy. Ah, there you are. Not bad rendition of the Northern Lights, as those go. Hey, puppy! Okay, those exist. I kind of wish they didn't. Wonder what they do when it's not frozen. Is it ever not frozen here? I don't get the impression that it's ever not frozen here. But that might be kind of what they're after. I don't know. Anything on this sign? That cannot, I think. Fonts matter. Did I get turned around again? Yes, I did. Somehow. Oh, for pity's sake. And there's not even a run function. Yeah, I got turned around. All I did was look around, for pity's sake. I guess I shouldn't bother with looking around at things, because it's just going to get me confused somehow. This is stupid. Huh. Wagon ruts. There aren't any wagon ruts on the other side of this. Okay, that's... What? What the fuck was that? Maven, forgive me, I think I did not greet thee properly? You greeted me properly as my dog. Oh, pray save thy flattery, till by works I earn it. Chops will come o'er full abashed, and e'en lose his tongue again. Thou dost smells of ash. Thou knowest then? Mine old mistress is dead, and ere since, i'faith, I had mine own self forgot. Yet I am Oh, I am late! Come, prithee, her family awaits us. Hello, excitable puppy. The dog instinctively guides you through the grand old manse, sniffing and chuffing about as if he too were seeing it anew. Signs of isolation and decay have mounted slowly over decades, yet oddly only on the outside. The chambers themselves are remarkably well preserved. Still, the lights seem clustered in too few rooms. This is a dwelling for a great clan, yet the sheer silence belies that utterly. Ahead, a few souls stand in a loose cluster, and behind them the blessed promise of firelight. You suppress a sudden urge to rush past them and collapse upon the hearth. A big man of some 60 years steps forward to greet you. Mr. Chops emits a small friendly whine at the sight. The man takes in your mask, your strange case. A guest. I' faith, her guest, aye? Such as was, her will instructed me to expect thee, and not thy name, just Maven, then. Of our great house, these few are nigh all who doth remain. High East vanguards, pray be remembered of how to greet a guest. This is my... me. To hear father tell it, thou'rt for our family far come indeed. 'Tis past on common to chance upon another soul in exile, and to wilful choose it, why 'tis rarity redoubled. Welcome in. They inspect your vestments, your case, and mask, unhurried. Some quiet paradox is here. You feel keenly measured and yet unjudged. An Inuk woman steps forward and curtsies very briefly, after a look at the large fellow for confirmation. It is impossible not to notice the cross around her neck, her covered hair. In Germany or Denmark she would draw eyes, but not for her clothes. You are far from both. This is her people's land. What prompted such effort? My wife, Nika. Not oft so silent, I assure thee. A hasty half-laugh. They both look back to him. Absurdly, in the silence, the dog does too. He rests his red-limbed eyes on a specific bit of nothing. Then abruptly seems to recall that he, too, has a name. And Volum's vanguard am I. My granddaughter lieth below the house, in the grotto. When the long morning night doth lapse, Mariken's vanguard shall sea-buried be. E'en as one of the old Danes. Her request. Yet ere that hour thou wilt see to her soul, yes? Ah, but peace, I overstep. Proceed as sees fit. Welcome to Vankanat. All retreat to the den, likely unsure what to expect of you. Characters with speech bubbles have something to say. When you are ready to advance the game, go to the exclamation mark. Okay. Soft, soft, no further pomp will plague thee, Maven. No handed introductions, I. Years in exile now, neither herald nor page and long-arm shot, yet when a true stranger asks my name, still agape stand I, awaiting my cue by some phantom trumpery. He seems to immediately regret the candor and clears his throat. We hath by my hest gathered here in common sight since the event. He seems to force the blunt truth out against some resistance. Her death discovered, pardon me. What little will Mariken left unto us spoke of the, quaint burial practice and vigil duty in keeping with ancient custom. And so we vanguards mourn as one. He frowns, some fear of inquisition, even here. Since that morn, grandson Maltha mine hath likely felt him unduly cooped. Mind erased, too, with questions about earthly perishment. A maven is very a maven is many forms of doctor. Volum seems to know this and feel obliged to share a observation relevant to family health. Lad came over somewhat insomniac. At length he fell asleep upstairs. Thou mayst pass it on the way to thy guest room. Softly, prithee, grant him oblivion's brief grace. At your approach, they hold their hand out at a canted angle. To shake or to kiss it? The pose makes it unclear. You settle for a curt bow. Pray, shares the fire, doctor. Thou art come to shrive great-grandmother's soul, somehow? Truly? They pause. Eyes betray a trace of mirth. Hath she any left? Father hath no belly for blood, Maven, but thou shouldst be told. From her balcony fell Mariken, high in the house of a knight. Struck her head on a sharp bit of earth outside, and so endeth a legend. We bound her next morn. The old girl was with age slowed, but methought her steadier. All that to say, frozen she was then, and hath by now in the grotto somewhat thawed. Yet thy charge is the soul. One might say that e'en gainst our will all Svanguards are in much theology versed, yet in matters spiritish we poor excommunicates are able not. They gesture with their goblet hand in a wide arc, indicating the manner the family's Arctic exile. They spill not a drop. Sooth, twice again would pass, old American, ere in this admit she needed help. Thine. The woman gestures to herself, not quite touching her chest. Nika, no need, and nothing. A perfunctory smile, hands out, open, then half closed. Do not worry, they convey. Okay. Explore a little bit. Oop. The boy has a farmer's color, but you see more than a mere trace of this land's native Inuit. Is his lineage passed down from Volum and Nika? Surely they're too old to have been his parents. Who's missing? Regardless, this family has indeed been long away from Europe, by now numb, perhaps, to scandal. Okay. I'll leave you guys alone. It's okay. Oop. Weary, you survey the small guest room. It smells of old pipe smoke, and beneath that, some residual deep-soiled thing. An atavistic ferment, long come to dust. It is oddly comforting. No doubt when this house offered shelter to Marikyn's full exiled house, family, servants, and myriad bondsmen, some few would come away from the lounge next door to confer upon private matters herein. You set down your case, delicately, to preserve all Marikyn's instruments of arcane inquiry, the box, the lantern, your inheritance, with the promise of more. The paraphernalia of future trials, these, yet no further documentation upon which to employ them. Surely Marikyn's will is somewhere on the premises. The lantern and eye stay on your person, after another drop of blood to feed both. The concept of sleep brushes the backs of your eyes, insinuating, but it must wait. So much yet to discover. Cat. The cat's eyes meet yours. As with the other animals here, you seem to conjure thoughts in keeping with each punctuating mew. Behold, the reserve, as if from the very sky, but soft, by whose war-horn hither called. An eye on both banners shall black milk o'er cast, and place her bets. Yet now she pointedly does not watch you walk away. Typical cat. Okay. Yes, I decided to see if it was possible to jump down from the railing. It is not. Let's see if there's anything else nearby. Nothing of interest, nothing of interest, nothing of interest. What's this way? Uninteractable doors. For now, anyway. More uninteractable doors. Oop. Those little skips are aggravating. Aha! That is the next document. And the body. Hello. Seest thou the contract? The soul of infamed Marikyn, in blood pact inscribed, and by it forsworn and damned to hell is she. By war of wills we must win her back. We'll seize her soul and try our hand at tug-o'-war, till all hell's black foemen lose their grip. Mark the time. 28 absconding hours have we to sever the pact of Marikyn. Nay, now 27. Valraven ruffles his feathers in brief confusion. But wherefore the smirking fiends to layer on't? hither dispatched to take up her pall, and unto the loveless pit bear her hence? Maven, our newest associate, Mr. Chops, must needs act as thine official familiar for a spell, while I o'erlook these documents. Valraven emits a strange, distinctly non-avian whistle. The sound causes your bones to seem suddenly very present, distinct, and separate. Ah, God, that feels creepy even in my bones. The feeling fades. When it does, the dog has already reached the grotto, whining a little. Excuse me. Do please bond with him, Maven. When I'm able, I'll offer you the choice of my services as well. Hello. Maven, sorry. It's thine old Chops, oh fool Chops. Wanted to watch o'er the boy, and my duty plain forgot me. As the familiar who led thee into the home, I owe thee the first bond. The worst air dog am I, or I'd know the art. I've had to sit at once in places twained. One night that Elden lore will be mine. My bond should ease thy burden in rituals to come. When thou dost Mr. Chops dismiss, goeth he back to his young master. Now thou shouldst pay thy respects to mistress, for 'tis her soul we soon will see to. Bonding with a familiar grants a unique boon during the ritual. Mr. Chops fetches new cards when you discard. Later you will find others with different singular powers. Interesting.
Oh, pay me no respect, no obeisance before this empty ruin. What couldst thou still owe me? 'Tis enough that thou art here. Yet, mayhap not all of thee. I judge thee not. In this matter, you and I are a matched set. If ancient Marigen could answer, what wouldst thou ask? Age, and well salted is that wound, thanks. Ask thou instead, why die now? I seemed near the end when as a youth thou saw'st me. Did hell extend my loan, then let it lapse? Is't soon come to collect? And unless thou art mad, thou didst meet the devil. By whatsoe'er name was he by me hither conjured. My dear Maven, I'd wager all again that these years gone thou wert sore missed by Mariken. Of nights 'tis likely I wept, and thou didst miss it. Shall we continue? If ancient Mariken could answer, what wouldst thou ask? Age, and well salted is that wound, thanks. Thou art a lawyer at last, art not? Did thy college of over-educated inaction not teach thee of our elemental firsts? Seek'st the documentation, and check the fine print. Shall we continue? If ancient Marigen could answer, what wouldst thou ask?
How is it I seem to hear you
In
now?
life, I was made answerable for many crimes. Of a few was I guilty. Yet in the alleged matter of thy mind's infirmity, I was at best a mere accomplice. Faith, is not this the voice of a dead woman?
You squinted her. How does one respond to that without making the alleged problem worse?
Shall we continue? If ancient Marigen could answer. Oh, kind. Yet I fear that sweet sleep hath from us southern flown. Instead, do remainst vigilant, young maven. Goodbye.
Seest thou, a contract immaculate, here described as the soul of a newborn infant. None? How did she... I've a sudden fear on me, all unnamed. A great rumble sounds. Here in the grotto, mingled grains of ice and old wood are kicked up in geometric whorls. The noise issued not from the bowels of the house, but upstairs? Voices rise in a distant choir of panic. Avant! Up! Out! Fly, Maven! Okay. Well. What the ever-loving hell is going on now? Oop. Yep. There is a run mechanic. Wait, what? Was this thee? A door! There! She gestures to the new stairwell, perhaps redundantly, but her disbelief seems plain. Volum, Rasmin, and I, outside we tarry but for a moment. Where's Melv? Didst thou see? She starts again, trying to help you orient the timeline of her fragmentary anecdote. My Volum, Rasmin, in and down they went, just now. We heard cries. Prithee. Nika seems to grope for words, genuinely alarmed, gesturing again towards the revealed stairway, which I obviously immediately ran straight down. And while we're in the middle of all this, I need to deal with a spammer. Viewership tampering. Verify, submit. Block user, go away. Right. Revealed stairway. Okay, well, at least I know whereof I'm... At least I'm pretty sure this is what I'm supposed to be doing. Hello? The fretful patriarch cranes torso first into the passage, like a child who'd not violate the domain of adults. Past him ahead, in the room without precedent, the boy Maltha lies on some altar. Asleep? Occult implements surround him. Unwholesome sounds issue from the high-vaulted, narrow room. Old Volum stands by in terse reserve. His fingers contemplate the scabbard of a small dagger. At your approach, withdrawn. Now this! Here on God do I vow, Maven, American said naught and less of a damned hidden room. Surely young Mouth, has slipped past us, while yet asleep to open it? We leapt too, but then on sight of yon cursed paganry, wise Rasmin said, Till come the Maven, hold thy peace. Of Mouth, is he thou hast seen trances of such like ere this? We will stand thy second, as thou dost inspect the scene. Pray do cry out, if... He closes his mouth woodenly, conjuring no plausible contingency here. Rasmin stares into the strange chamber ahead. They notice you askance, but continue to observe. Now, how quickly must Mal have moved? Yet here again doth flail, and in nothing seem to swim, as if upon some unseen ocean slumber tossed. To the fore, Omegas, the hour is thine. The ever-loving hell? Ah, cat. Second best witch, art here, good. Aye, I smell metal, of a shining elf. If faith the coveting kind, and oils of anointment commingled with, oh, an altogether less holy admixture. Okay. The boy whimpers in his throat, but for the phlegm it is almost melodic. He has sweated through his shirts to stain the table beneath. His eyes snap briefly to you. Lo, that is not your face, though I note from somewhere. The lad's gaze loses you, slipping sidelong to dart softly between coordinates unknown. I am asleep. He doth tell me so direct. Ceased? I am still, for I dare not wake me. I meant no mischief, me. This only as man did. Telleth thee, will he, if faith. His words strangle. His back arches too far, mechanically. No pain registers on his small face, which is somehow worse. Once, twice, then slack. Oh boy. No mere fever, this. Preludes past and all unheard. 'Tis possession's overture. And here, a contract on the lad's soul? Falraven hops away from the child, takes in the rest of the room's contracts. On monstrous spindles they hang, waiting. But one stray leaf, I fear, from a family tree. Sidelong, the bird now surveys a legal stamp, its strange grip sculpted into a human likeness. Maltha, styled the same as was the effigy of Marican in the care of the fiend One-Eye. Mistress spake not of this, to her own familiars alack. Come, at thine elbow, lay by all innocence, moves mouths to yon chair, and preparest thou the ritual components. The work begins. Boy. You shoulder mouth into the chair next to you, where a client sits. You brandish the ritual herbs under his nose and mouth. Show him the needle that will take a sample of his blood for the ritual. Troublingly, he volunteers his finger automatically, as if we're hers. Whoa! Hello. Ah, Vergild. As One-Eye's agent, dost thou claim him? Well, tender thy receipt. The great gold leaf contrivance responds, clicks and soft shrieks of metal muffled by its long robe. Lo, a tendering. A new magus is come. Match wits with Vergild, wilt thou? I, the very graft of castle now? Think, witch, what is yon whelp to thee? You bleed onto the document near your client's contribution, consenting to act as proxy. Boldly thou dost wager thy blood, yet flesh is base ribbonry to dress the true prize, thy soul. We must accept thy challenge. The battle of wills begins. And that was a lot longer than I expected it to be, and we are short on time. We're pretty much out of time as far as that goes. And it didn't cut out once. It's barely lagging. I think my internet is actually fixed. Huzzah! Sorry not to let you see a full-on battling, but that's page 1 of 2, and this is demo of demo, so we're going to leave it there for now. You've had an hour of period drama creepiness, so hey, that's not such a bad thing. And yeah, you can find the videos for everything I played when I wasn't capable of streaming on my YouTube channel, which is linked around here somewhere, as I mentioned earlier. The write-ups on Ko-fi are also there, as usual. I didn't do that many, but I did some. Also, as per usual, nothing's paywalled. I'm in it for the love of the games. I wouldn't mind a few more followers on here, just so I can get affiliate status. Not because I really want to monetize or anything, just I want to be able to schedule one-offs and that kind of thing when I'm running into the lack of spoons problem. And also I might like to do the occasional charity stream, which would be nice. But either way, I'm still doing it no matter what, so that's okay. The Killing Stone will be available on Steam soon. It's literally a coming soon thing. No release date given, but we'll keep an eye out for it, because as bad as I seem to be at it, I think there might be a balance issue. That's interesting. I approve of the mood of it, but I'm not sure about the balance of the combat. I'm not sure that a tutorial game should have gone quite as tight as the one in our first run. And Liam O'Brien killed it. He must have had such a blast. But if you want to see more of the battles beyond this, check the balance for yourself, do better than I did, why not try the demo for yourself? See firsthand if it's something you're into. I was going to try to get back to my schedule, but thanks to engineer stuff, I am a little bit sleep deprived, as you probably could tell from all the yawning. So I think my test run print pretty well tonight. I mean, Thursday isn't my usual day for this, but I really did just want to run the test on the things. So I'll leave it for the time being, and tomorrow shall be Halloween, and it shall be spooky. I have my schedule all laid out. I'm just gonna have to deal with the fact that my Steam demo collection is going to be overfull until the end of time, because I'm not going to keep subjecting you to my yawns. That seems unfortunate. But thank you, anybody who is actually watching, for indulging my testing. We seem to be working just fine. Thank you very much. We will be back to some semblance of Spooky Week tomorrow. Uh, we don't even actually have the game in full at this point because I kind of ran into issues with the various in full games I was playing. I kind of got bored with them, you see. So I'll just sort of keep playing demos all afternoon and evening on Friday just to clear at least the spooky ones out of the backlog. When I've actually paid off some of the sleep debt, I just keep accruing. I was supposed to be like paying off my sleep debt this week, but it just hasn't happened. A lot of things that were supposed to happen this week didn't happen. So I will talk to you guys tomorrow to try to pick up where at least some of where I left off. There's a whole bunch of fairly interesting ones, but I need time to get some rest, write some scripts up, all the rest of this sort of stuff that I wasn't expecting to do today and would have had time to had the engineer actually sent me a. Sorry, I'll stop. Until tomorrow or until next, have a good one.